Hi, my name's Jacqui and I'm a member at Trinity Methodist Church in Leighton Buzzard. I work as a nurse and I'm going to share my experiences of working in critical care during the pandemic. I haven't worked in critical care for about 5 years when the pandemic struck, but I wanted to go back and work there to do what I could to help. Not having used my critical care skills for 5 years terrified me because I knew that the patients would be very sick and it would be very busy. It felt like the worst time to be going back to work there. However, my former colleagues welcomed me back. The scenes you have seen on the television show exactly how it was. We were working 12-hour shifts in full PPE. As I walked from my car to work each day, I prayed to the Lord to be with me and give me the strength to get through the day. I didn't think I could do this on my own. And as I finished my shift and walked back to my car, most nights I cried as I walked along. I think it was the relief of having got through the day, the stress of the situation, and the sadness at the loss of life. I thought about how vulnerable we are as human beings, how we have all this amazing technology, and yet here we were with a virus amongst us, killing thousands of people. And it felt like a desperate situation. One evening, after I'd finished my shift, I was sent a video by one of my colleagues. It was of a patient leaving hospital, and she was being clapped by members of staff as her husband pushed her along the corridor on their way home. It made me cry, because I'd looked after this patient. And it also gave me hope, because I knew how sick this patient had been, and here she was, leaving hospital. I felt very privileged to have been part of some small part of her journey to recovery. I also felt privileged to have been working in critical care at this time. The theme for this week is John the Baptist, a stranger, strangers in waiting. Thinking about my work during the pandemic made me realise how many strangers I'd come into contact with in the hospital. Every shift I was working with different people who I'd not worked with before. This was because many staff were redeployed to critical care from departments all over the hospital. We all had one goal, and that was to do what we could for these very sick patients. It struck me how well we worked together and supported each other, even though we'd only just met. The kindness of strangers also humbled me. Every day people would bring food, drinks, hand cream, bags for putting our uniforms in for taking home for washing, and many other goodies. These people had never met us before, and yet they were doing this for us, and it was truly appreciated. The clapping on a Thursday night, it was truly humbling, knowing that there were thousands of people out there thinking about us. On two separate occasions, as I was walking into work, strangers approached me and thanked me for what I was doing. It felt a bit embarrassing because I was just doing my job, but it was truly uplifting to know how much we were appreciated. On a personal level, I know my church family were praying for myself and my colleagues, and that gave me great comfort too. Although my experience was challenging, I feel blessed that I was able to be part of some patients' recovery, but very sad about the patients whose lives we were not able to save. The pandemic has made me appreciate my family more, especially as I know many people lost loved ones to the virus. I do feel God was with me during this time and keeping me going. My good news is that we have God, and He is always with us, whatever we face. My chosen Bible verses are from Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for You are with me. Your rod and Your staff, they comfort me. Amen.